This is why we're co-hosts, people. We're on the same wavelength. So look out for our Halloween special where we're both going to be dressed up as Among Us space people.
Space beans.
Space beans.
Hello everyone and welcome to DCM, Doritos, Connections, and Mountain Dew, your favorite local video game show. I am your host, Howard Miller.
I'm your co-host, David Scrivani.
And let's start off with the news! Yay. Let's start off with our first story. If you owned a PlayStation in the early 2000s, then you might remember a short-lived franchise, Bloodrayne. A game series about a half-human, half-vampire fighting secret cults in order to stop monsters from taking over the world, played by the famous voice actress Laura Bailey in her first video game role ever. Why am I talking about this? It's coming back with a multitude of remasters. The studio that published the IP, Majesco, has been inactive for years, and Ziggurat Interactive has bought the rights to the franchise in 2020 with intentions to reboot the franchise. However, they're remastering all of the games in the Vampires franchise, starting with 2011's Bloodrayne Betrayal, Fresh Bites, which is out now, and now Bloodrayne 1 and 2 revamped, which should be out by the end of the year and will also include a run from limited game runs for PlayStation and Switch. However, there is no news about a Bloodrayne reboot in the works.
Next up in the news, I hope all you Star Wars and also Heavy Rain fans are excited because the rumor mill is a-turnin' with the Detroit Become Human developer Quantic Dream supposedly deep in development on a new Star Wars game. While details are understandably scarce for a game that is still only just rumored at this time, Kotaku says that the game won't be the conventional type of quick-time event-driven game we've come to expect from the French studio. The game will have more traditional action gameplay and possibly even open world and multiplayer elements. While that sounds all fine and dandy, personally, I A, am not exactly foaming at the mouth for this over a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and B, can Quantic Dream even accomplish something like that? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. But it's Star Wars, I'll probably play it.
In terms of video game movie news,
we all love those.
We all love those. Don't look at our Mortal Kombat review. MCU's Anthony Mackie has been cast in a new Twisted Metal adaptation. The car battle royale from the original PlayStation era is apparently getting a live-action adaptation, and we can only confirm it through the announcement of the actor Anthony Mackie playing the character John Doe, a character who joins Calypso's contest of mayhem and destruction for one wish to gain his memories back. He only appeared in Twisted Metal Black, which was the game on the PlayStation 2, but the plot is an original idea with characters returning, such as the demented clown Needles Kane and his ride Sweet Tooth. That's right, Sweet Tooth isn't the name of the clown. Please get that right. It was never his name.
Oh,
his name's Needles Kane.
News to me.
We will have more updates as the production starts up. And you know what? I'm personally glad finally Sony found a fourth franchise to start doing stuff with.
Bend Studios, the developer behind the largely successful but apparently not successful enough if you ask Sony Days Gone, recently announced via Twitter that they were hiring for a bevy of positions. This isn't completely out of the ordinary, but what is the fact that they specifically mentioned that it was for a new IP. Because I guess the CEO of Bend, whatever his name was, the guy who was, talking smack to Sony about not greenlighting a sequel to Days Gone despite it doing really well, he didn't have a choice. He's got to do a new IP. Maybe if it's successful, they'll do a sequel to Days Gone, but I don't know. It's stupid. Sony's standards are too high for success. We've talked about this before. It's nothing new. But hey, new IP. That's cool. That's a good thing.
New IP. Woo!
Yay!
Alrighty, guys. Move over Star Wars. Move over Disney. Move over Marvel. there is a new competitor in the Halloween costume catalog with new official costumes for last year's hit game, Among Us. Innersloth has teamed up with toy company Tokido to release an official Among Us costume with 2 sizes and 4 colors. You can buy this at places like Amazon, Walmart, whatever an HMV is, and other global stores around the world. And as they said officially, be the Space Bean.
Finally, we can live out our dreams of being sus.
You should do a whole Halloween episode
In those costumes, you know, I had the exact same idea, like, as you were reading that off. This is why we're co-hosts, people. We're on the same wavelength. So look out for our Halloween special where we're both going to be dressed up as Among Us space people.
Space Beans!
Space Beans.
And now for our next segment, hey guys, what you been playing? So what have I been playing? I've been playing the newly released Psychonauts 2, the long-awaited sequel to the 2005 title Psychonauts. This game has been through hell and back, starting development in 2014 from a crowdfunding campaign, originally published by Starbreeze Studio. That studio went bankrupt in 2018, which canceled the project until Microsoft bought Double Fine and gave them the funds necessary to complete it. And oh my god, this game, phenomenal. The game stars Raz immediately after the VR game Rhombus of Ruins, which is recapped in the first 5 minutes. You don't need to play the first one, okay? You don't. They give a cute little drawing intro about what happened in the last game in Rhombus of Ruins. So you're set. And he's helping the agents of psychics called the Psychonauts after rescuing the head of the company from the mad dentist, Dr. Lobato. You probe his mind and you find out that he was paid off by a horrific psychic being known as Maligula. Raz must then help the Psychonauts find the mole and put a stop to Maligula, all while restoring the company to the former glory. The game has you exploring multiple minds of NPCs. Because it's a platformer, you actually explore people's minds, and they're all narratively driven levels. So it's not desert level, hills, spooky level. No, they're levels built around characters' personalities are the ones you go in. So this, while it's cute, you know, because you'll go into stuff like, you know, oh, a dentist, it's a dentist world, it's a dentist office. It also tackles a lot of mental issues with levels based off of it, like gambling, multi-personality disorder, and alcoholism. And one of my personal favorite levels, Bob's Bottles. The game is worth an over 15-year wait and is personally now my game of the year until Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania comes out. Sorry, I'm not sorry at all. Psychonauts 2 is available on Xbox consoles, PS4, and PC.
What have I been playing? I've been playing Tripwire Interactive's self-proclaimed Shark PG, which isn't that great a pun now that I say it out loud. But it's an RPG where you play as a shark, specifically a bull shark. It's the story, if you can really call it that, is presented as a National Geographic / Animal Planet documentary style game. And, well, you go around, you eat fish, you eat people, and you eat mean fish. And that's about the extent of the game. But despite it being very, very, very repetitive, it's still a lot of fun, and I blasted through it in probably less than a week. There's still enough there, despite the repetitiveness, to keep one entertained. You know, all the various evolutions. You know, I had fins that, when I dodged, I would give off an electrical spark that would stun enemies in the area. I had a tail that I could shoot out a ball of poison at enemies. It was awesome. And then there's almost over half of the landmark collectibles are pop culture references, which are pretty great. my personal favorite was the one where the narrator, played by the great Chris Parnell, you find a T-Rex skeleton, and he says, if your favorite dinosaur is the T-Rex, you're boring, and you should probably find a different favorite dinosaur.
True and base.
Exactly. I have yet to play the DLC that just recently came out, Truth Quest. I've heard it's very good. It sounds really interesting because it's all about conspiracy theories and apparently also kaiju, which, you know, that's
the brand.
That's my brand. But I've heard it's very good, and then apparently there's another DLC coming at some point that's cyberpunk based, which cyberpunk sharks, that's a combination I can get on board with. Maneater is currently out on PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, and PC.
All right, so now we're gonna do another one of our hot recaps of the last week's PlayStation showcase, where they announced a myriad of games on the PlayStation platform. We watched it. We have some thoughts.
Whoa. We watched it. We watched the trailers. We did not watch the showcase itself, because who has time for that, really?
Well, he did more than me. I watched none of that. Now, so Dave is going to
So I'm going to carry this discussion.
He's going to tell us everything that was released, because he's a sucker who watched the trailers.
To be fair, I only watched the trailers of the things that interested me.
Well,
stuff I didn't care about, like Project Eve.
Oh yeah, I don't know Project Eve.
Neither do I. I watched very little of it according to my YouTube app. I didn't even remember anything about it.
So if you're a fan of Project Eve, it exists.
That's as much as you're getting.
We're doing so good at this
I
already.
know.
What's the next one?
So the showcase started off with the announcement that the long-awaited and long-rumored Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake would be coming to PS5. And isn't it going to be PC a year after its release or something?
Yes, it is a timed exclusive. Because PlayStation likes that. Mm-hmm. We are getting a remake of an Xbox exclusive. And did they even show off gameplay? It was just the cinematic trailer?
No, it was just a cinematic trailer of Revan igniting his lightsaber. And that was it.
But it is true. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is getting remade, and I'd imagine it's being ported, right? Like the original game, because there's the Star Wars Bounty Hunter port, the Star Wars Racing port, the Star Wars Renegade Commando, whatever it's called, that got ported.
I don't know. I mean, for one, it's like consistently like $5 on Steam, both Knights of the Old Republic games, but. I don't know I feel like if they're remaking it, I would imagine they would want people more interested in the remake than the original.
That's true.
But I don't know. Personally, I never actually played Knights of the Old Republic, so I'm very excited for this. I hate that it's a timed exclusive. We'll get to that, but no word as to when it's coming out. Again, we only have a minute-long cinematic trailer that really, again, didn't really show much, but I'm sure it'll be good. My biggest question is that when rumors first started swirling of a Knights of the Old Republic remake, one of the things that people were talking about was supposedly they were going to be trying to tweak the story just a little bit to make it fit into the newer canon that Disney has created for Star Wars.
I thought Knights of the Old Republic was deemed canon already.
No, because that was before Disney buyout. They again. Aside from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, they basically decanonized everything from the expanded universe.
Stupid.
My guess is that because Knights of the Old Republic takes place, hundreds or probably thousands of years before.
I think it's a couple thousand.
Yeah, before the Skywalker saga. So my guess is that if they had to tweak it, they certainly would not need to tweak it very much.
They better not get rid of my favorite character, the robot that hates humans so much and calls them dirty meatbags.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I know about Star Wars.
Yeah, I love him.
HK-47 or something?
Something like that.
I know it's HK something or other. But yeah, Knights of the Old Republic remake. coming soon to a PlayStation 5 near you if you can get one,
Oh,
which you
yeah.
probably can't.
That's right. We still can't get PS5s or Series X's.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
What was the next one?
Next one I watched was Alan Wake Remastered.
Oh, hold on. We got to go over Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Yes, it still exists. It keeps getting shoved into all of our faces. We discussed this on the 2K E3 coverage. Go watch that.
Did we? I don't even remember
We
that.
did. It was the 2K one where I explained to you how 20 minutes of it was discussing the Borderlands movie, but they didn't show anything.
Right.
Yep.
We're gonna have to review the Borderlands movie for the show.
Not if we forget it exists.
We
Next
probably
game.
won't. Next game, at least the next trailer that I watched, was the remaster for Alan Wake, a game I never played on the Xbox 360.
Really?
No, I never got around to it.
Well,
I think I played maybe like half an hour hanging out with you. Maybe.
I don't think we did.
Then I guess I never played it at all.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if you don't know, Alan Wake's a game that's basically, if you love Stephen King, it's just this theoretical of this writer, not Stephen King, named Alan Wake, who writes a story so good that it actually comes to life and haunts him. So, like, you actually collect storybook pages of the plot, trying to figure out who is this monster that's destroying this small town of Maine.
The entire state of Maine.
The entire state of Maine.
Man, there's Stephen King loving Maine, and there's this.
Yeah, and it's called The Darkness.
That's a different game.
You know what? That is a different game and IP. But listen, this was when games started being heavily narrative. It's great. I actually 100%ed everything at the beginning of quarantine. The game still slaps. And you know, them remastering Alan Wake, it's proof that no one really did care about Control. Because the second DLC of Control was Alan Wake, the second project they do after Control's Alan Wake.
Which is a shame, because I've heard Control is actually pretty solid.
Well, I heard Control's pretty solid, but like I've never actually seen or heard of anyone who bought/played it.
I got it for free with Plus, and I still haven't played
It's
it.
on the Game Pass, so I've never touched it. You know what it's like? It's kind of, to me, Control has the vibe of like the Oscar bait movie, where it's that good game everyone likes, but no one will actually play or touch.
I have heard, I think I saw this earlier today, apparently the remaster is going to be doing away with the product placement in Alan Wake.
No!
Supposedly. I think I saw that.
Because the whole point is it was supposed to be like a corny TV, because I don't know if you remember this, but the whole setup where every game was episodes, so you'd play like 2 chapters and then it'd be like, and then show credits and be like, last time on Asura's Wrath. That started from Alan Wake.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like it was 6 chapters, and all 6 of them would have like an intro of Alan recapping stuff, and then it'd have an outro with like a classic 70s rock song like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds or like Boston, right? Which is one of the reasons it was delisted for like 2 years.
Oh.
But yeah, they're the ones who started it, and I like that. And like the product placement made sense because it was supposed to be like a TV, and then you had Alan Wake himself narrating in the 4th person, saying, "I needed to find the jukebox that was in the corner of the room, but I couldn't find it in the darkness." And like him narrating the game of himself doing it. That was the whole point. So why would you take out the product placement?
I don't know.
That's sad. At least you could still play the original on the 360. I'm sorry, on the Xbox Series X via backwards compatibility.
There you go.
All the DLC's free for it, so. What was the next game?
Ghostwire Tokyo, a game I had very, very little interest in, but then when I saw the trailer they showed off at the PlayStation Showcase, I'm like, I'm going to try to do my best to do the eyes emoji.
I'll just
paste it over my face. There we go. I still don't really know what Ghostwire Tokyo is about, but it looks like it kind of plays like an Arcane Studios game, which I love. And it's got spooky ghosts, and it takes place in Tokyo, and it looks really cool. Again, no idea what the heck the game's about, but it looks rad, and I like things that look rad, especially when it has ghosts in it.
That title reminds me of that one meme where it's like random place and it's the Wojak that's sad, and then random place Japan and they're excited. It's like Ghostwire.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
And then Dave just walks up with the eyes emoji. Oh boy, more Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game.
Yay.
Next game.
I actually saw an article. Apparently someone played it and they said it was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, they also played the Avengers game and said it was pretty fun, and look what happened.
Well, the article specifically said Guardians of the Galaxy is not like Avengers, and that's a good thing. So, take from that what you will.
I mean, is it really that hard to be better than the Avengers game?
No, not really.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looked like is the ugliest game in existence, and I'd still rather spend 100 hours in that than Avengers.
But you know what it does have? It has Cosmo the Space Dog. And it gives it some bonus points for sure.
Where's my Hit Monkey video game?
He's in Lego Marvel too.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he is. Next game is a game that sounded really cool, Blood Hunt. And as I was watching the trailer, I'm like, huh, this looks like Vampire the Masquerade. Sure enough, when the title came up, it was a Vampire the Masquerade game. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know this franchise was still viable.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Don Nod's making a Vampire the Masquerade game. Someone else is making a Vampire the Masquerade game that got pushed back. And now Blood Hunt, 3 Vampire the Masquerade games?
3 Vampire the Masquerade games, apparently.
Yo, y'all are nerds. 3 Vampire the Masquerade games? Okay.
Sure, I guess.
Wait, hold on. They announced Kid Amnesia.
I don't know what that is.
That's Radiohead. That's Radiohead's, which album? 3rd album, which is a masterpiece, Kid A, and then the sequel album to that, Amnesia. They were doing a 30th anniversary collection.
But
I've been trying to bully him to listen to at least Kid A for like 2-3 years.
Well, now that I've seen the Kid Amnesia exhibition PlayStation Showcase 2021 teaser trailer, maybe I'll actually go listen to it.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
What's next one? Adventure Time, the video game?
Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy. I had to think about the title for a second. Those are both coming to PC. Not the first 3 games, apparently, just 4 and Lost Legacy.
Wait. Time out. What is Lost Legacy? I don't remember that at all.
It was kind of like Wolfenstein: The Old Blood to The New Order. It was like a standalone expansion for 4.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I did play it. It's fun. You play as Chloe.
Okay. I remember this now.
Now the next big announcement: Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Whoa! Stop right there. Stop right there. You're skipping over again. And it is.
How could I forget?
The most important.
Did I forget?
The objectively best Sony IP. The one that stayed for generations. Gran Turismo 7 was announced. They have cars that go vroom.
Now, Marvel Spider-Man 2. We all knew it was coming, but we have in a reveal trailer.
Yes.
We got Spider-Man Peter Parker. We got Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So actually, the game should have been called Spider-Men.
Spider-Man.
Instead of Spider-Man 2.
Good call.
But,
good call.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if we're going to be playing as Miles? I don't know. Yeah, he had a whole game to himself.
Yeah, he had a whole game.
Yeah.
Move over, Miles. We're done with you.
Yeah. Now we got weird, Uncanny Valley-looking Peter Parker again.
Oh, that's right. They changed his face.
They changed his face. You don't see it in the trailer, thank God, but it just looks weird. Everyone else looks the same as they did, but Peter just looks different.
Now, one thing. So I've been playing more of the Spider-Man PS4. And if there's one thing I will give the Spider-Man games credit, is they pick some obscure villains for the main villain. So the main villain. Now you can tell me Miles up to this, but the main villain of Spider-Man, well, for most of it, was Dr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
I'm sorry, Mr. Negative.
He ain't got no PhD.
Yeah, he got PhD in negativity. And I honestly, because usually they use him for plots that involve Venom. right? Because that's how.
I have no idea.
Because that's how Anti-Venom was made. He made Anti-Venom.
Okay.
So they use him a lot in Venom stories, but I like that. And who was the main bad guy in Miles? Was there a main bad guy in Miles?
Tinkerer.
Bless you. Now, the villains from the trailer, they showed off 2 villains. Now,
Well, they showed off one. They heavily imply another, where it's almost painfully obvious who it is.
and it's Kraven the Hunter, which
My boy.
that he is not really that used, but I like Kraven. I think he's really cool.
I mean, what's the last thing we saw Kraven in that was like big? I can't even think of anything.
Ooh.
I mean, probably one of the Disney XD Spider-Man shows, I imagine.
No one likes
but I don't.
those.
Yeah.
Wait, was he even in Spectacular Spider-Man?
It's been years. I haven't watched Spectacular Spider-Man since it aired, so possibly.
Wait, let's watch Spectacular Spider-Man. But they also have Venom in the trailer, who's voiced by Tony Todd, a.k.a. Candyman. Very good casting. They're going to have Venom shenanigans. Although it is, I mean, the game's going to have to explain how Venom happens without Peter being...
Yeah, they do... have you beaten the first one?
No, not yet.
All right, so minor spoiler, because we already saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
They do tease Venom in the after-credit scene of the first game, but it's a very different version of the symbiote than the one we're used to, where it comes from the moon. And Eddie Brock is nowhere to be found. So I really don't know how they're going to do this.
I heard someone say it might be Harry.
Yeah.
It might be Harry as Venom instead of Eddie Brock.
Because again, spoiler alert, that is kind of Harry and the symbiote are intrinsically linked in that after credit scene.
Okay.
We're still not really sure how. I'm sure Spider-Man 2 will go into that.
Of course. And that was the last one, right?
Oh, got it. Oh, no, it reset. I got to scroll back down.
No!
In addition to Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Insomniac Games has also announced that they are working on a Wolverine game. We know nothing except that it's a Wolverine game, because it's a 54-second teaser that is just Wolverine sitting in a bar with a bunch of people knocked out behind him.
Next thing.
Next thing is the big boy, God of War Ragnarok. Looks cool.
Yeah.
I really liked the last God of War.
It was cute. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was cool. And that was the whole PlayStation.
Oh, hold on.
What? There's no more cars. They don't go vroom.
Yes, but on the topic of God of War, have you seen the character posters?
For Thor being
Thor.
big, hunky, chunky man?
For big boy Thor.
Big boy Thor.
Now, people, if you've seen Avengers Endgame, everyone loved, fat Thor. You ain't seen nothing.
Oh.
You ain't seen nothing till you see God of War Ragnarok Thor. This man's got a big old Santa belly. He's a big man.
In fact, I think the plot twist is that it is in fact Santa Claus.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah. And that was the whole PlayStation showcase. Pretty good, but we're going to have some fuse choice words on our next segment about a certain issue that we've noticed. But yeah, announcement-wise, I think that's a solid B.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Showing, right?
I mean, we did the only things that really got announced that were worth.
It was like Spider-Man 2.
It was
Wolverine,
Spider-Man,
Knights of
Star
the
Wars,
Republic.
and Wolverine. Everything else is just kind of we knew about.
Yeah, they just showed
Or
more
either didn't really care
stuff.
about. Yeah.
Showed more stuff. But yeah, that's that.
That's that.
And that's the end of our show. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
And slam that bell.
Yes.
Like we've said before, ringing bells is very satisfying.
Exactly.
You should try it sometime.
That's why every video game makes you ring a bell.
Exactly.
It's nice.
How many video games have ring a bell?
I don't know, like 2.
I don't remember ever ringing a bell in a game. I mean, there's the opening level of Doom Eternal where you can shoot the bell and it makes a noise, but it's an optional thing.
Well, yeah, but you can still ring it.
Good point.
All right, that out of the way. I'm Howard.
I'm David.
You have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.